So, guys, this is SSTV as usual. This is our third episode, and this is in one of my football story. And I'm here to interview someone. This particular episode was very, very special to me, and I felt the connection. I could relate to everything he said. It was really an amazing experience. Guys, let's watch. So, Mr. Jackson, do you love football?
Yes, I'm very big on football. Big on football. Growing up, football was the only passion I did.
Wow. With the way he's excited about it, you already knew this was going to be an interesting interview.
Like, at some point in my life growing up, everybody around me, including my family members, close friends, and associates, they actually thought I was going to take football up as a career. That's to tell you how serious or how deep I was into football. And football was basically my life growing up. I played football like every day, every time, and all of that. But somewhere along the line, you get to a point in life, maybe because you didn't have the right mentors in your life to.
This is where it gets interesting. This is where he started listing the factors that limited him and stopped him per se to get to the point he determined or wanted to be. And this is where he tried to explain what has been happening to a lot of other people and how he thinks will help younger ones to get past it.
Actually,
Platform.
I think I had the platform, but at some point, I needed to decide between pursuing a career in football at the expense of my studies or focusing on my studies at the expense of my football. I tried to balance the two. That was where I felt like if a mentor was there, maybe they would have been of great help in terms of maybe balancing the two. So at some point, I just channeled my own energy to my studies. Maybe because, again, the environment where I grew up in, most of the people around me then, at some point, they started deviating to school. You get, and I felt like I was being left out. Do you understand? From the whole school thing. So I think that kind of affected my decision on whether to focus on football more or studies. Maybe I wanted to just belong. Since most of my friends that we were playing with, most of them now went to school, that kind of affected my decision, you get. So
in his own situation, he stated that he was in between continuing his education or focusing on the football. He couldn't find a means to balance both. He couldn't find a means to do the education and focus on football. And another deciding factor for him was that everybody was playing the football with, at some point, decided to leave it and focus on their education. They all finished their secondary school and wanted to move into higher institution, and he didn't want to be left out. He wanted to follow his mates, and he didn't find any mentors, anybody to advise him or to guide him, and that was where he started missing out.
So I felt like if I had like a very strong personality in my life at that time, who would maybe help me make decisions or balance this, and I felt like football basically would have been what I would do or still be doing till now. So I'm just giving you this barrage for you to know how deep I was into football. You asked if I liked football, so I guess that answered your question.
Yeah, a lot. Moving forward, was there any particular incident or particular thing that happened, anything in particular that propelled your passion for football, that made you feel like this is what I actually want to do before you decided to stop? Was there anything? Is there anything in particular that made you want to pursue football as a career?
I think basically it was just the love for the sport. Growing up, hearing about or watching those big stars, Maradona.
Just like every other person, I know that for someone to love something so much, there must have been a spark or an initial factor to make you drawn to one particular thing? So I asked him that question, and he started listing some of his reasons, and I think they were really, really valid.
Maradona was my idol. I could still say he's still my idol, but even though I still have like, but I'm saying back in the day when you hear Maradona, Argentina, that country, I think I had more growing up. I had more. I don't know if affiliation is right. Like I tended towards Argentina more than Brazil, even though they feel like Brazil is
The
the football nation ahead. But because of that Maradona factor, Diego Mradona, and all of that, So, and I just realized that growing up, I had this natural flair for football. The ability was just there. That's why I tell you earlier that most of the people that I grew up with, they actually thought I was going to take up football like pro, because of how really good I was. Do you understand? So it was just growing up. I just knew I had the natural ability to play the game, and it was the only game I knew apart from others that I do sideways. And I just realized that there was just that natural ability to play football. And as I'm playing it, I'm really having fun. Do you get? That was just it.
Just like most other sports fan or football fans, there is always this idol that makes you drawn to the game. His own is Diego Maradona, of course, the Argentine legend. He said that Diego Maradona was a good factor for him. He was drawn to Diego Maradona's ability to play the sport. And the fact that he found it easy to play, he was really, really good at it. He enjoyed it a lot, and wherever he went to play, everybody knew this guy was something special, and that was why he picked it up as something he loved to do as a career.
Another question I would like you to, something I would like to think about, maybe take a time. Right now, there are younger people also who are in the shoes of like the way you were in the past, loving the game, focusing and trying to make it what they love to do. There are younger people right now, they are in that situation. If is there anything you can advise those younger ones that this is what you should do to help you be better? What advice would you have loved to give them?
Okay, the only advice is if you come to a point in your life where you feel like football is what you want to do, give it your 120% and then have the right mentors, so to say, or advisors around you, and then always be on the lookout for platforms. Do you understand? Because with all of your talents and hard work and everything, you still need the right people and the right platform where you can see, so that one or two persons will see you. And I remember, I don't know if I can tell the story to inspire.
Now this is where it gets very, very interesting. Experience is the best teacher. I always love to ask people questions, people that have done a certain thing, to list their experiences, so that those who are trying to be on that same path can learn and make things easier for them, right? And I asked him this question, and he stated facts and gave us an amazing story. Guys, make sure you don't miss this story, guys.
After my youth service, I taught in a private school for a while, for about 1 year. So Fridays usually are games, days for games, you get. So, after lessons and all of that, you see the students in their sports wears and they all go into the football pitch and all of that. And because of that thing, even if you've not been playing, when you are in an environment where you see people doing what you love to do, there's this thing that just comes up. So I decided to start coming to work on Fridays with my football kids to play with my students, and I loved it. Then there were two students that I knew from what they displayed on the pitch and from my experience where I was coming from. You understand? I knew that those two boys, if they decide to give them their all to football, they would eat, like they would make it in life through football. So I took those guys under me and I kept advising them. One, took my advice very serious. The other one, they very talented boys, he thought he was deceiving me, but he was, and I think the environment where he was affected him.
Yeah.
Instead of spending more time on the football pitch, training and all of that, he spends time with people who hang around drinking and all of that. So as I'm talking to you now, the one who actually took my advice put everything in. At some point, he had to leave Jos, went to Lagos where he had nobody.
Yeah.
That's how adventurous he was and how passionate he was about making it in football. As I'm speaking to you now, the guy is doing well. He's in United Arab Emirates. The last time I checked.
Now he stated to us an amazing story of how he saw two young men and discovered that those two young men had tremendous talent concerning or pertaining to football, and he tried to school them, he tried to advise them, he tried to make sure that they did not go through the wrong path that he did. Unfortunately or unfortunately, one of them did not follow up, and the other one followed up and is a professional footballer today, playing in the United Arab Emirates, and has made football a career path for himself and has gone pro. And this is one of the reasons we decided to continue this, to start this documentary, to let these amazing stories out there.
Wow.
He's doing very well. You understand? Doing very well. Every time I log onto Facebook and I see his videos, clips and all of that, I feel very proud knowing that
you actually played a role.
I knew, yes, maybe I never bought him a boot, I never gave him £1 to buy JC or anything, but I knew I always called him and I always bring it into his head that you have the talent for football, give it your all and you will make a living out of from football. Do you understand? So I'm only telling this story to tell, if you know you have what it takes, you have the football, you have the talent and all of that, give it your all. Look for the right people. Like that guy now, I believe I wasn't the only person, but I was one of the persons that was always, and that's what I lacked. Do you understand? And when I mentioned earlier that if I had the right mentors or people around me that could just talk to me, give me, I believe I would have been able to make the right decision on what to focus on or how to balance football and school. You understand? The guy finished secondary school and he focused on football, and he's doing very well now. So you are a young man out there. You know you have the talent to play football. Know that hard work is key. Talent is not enough. You need to put in the hard work. That's one, and then make sure you you surround yourself with people who can always inspire you, who believe in your dream, that will always put you back on track when you go off. Because whether you like it or not, at some point you feel discouraged, you feel like,
and there will be some testing times
to
make you feel I'm tired.
Let me tell you something. Before this guy traveled out, this my boy, before he traveled out of the country, I remember he called me one evening and I was actually going through shit, like just like you said, we go through trials. He called me.
At this point, he started telling us some difficulties that his mentee faced, that there were times that his mentee couldn't have the financial backing because he needed financial help, and he was asked by the mentee to help, and himself wasn't in the situation to help. He couldn't help, but the mentee did not give up. He did not say that this person that was advising me did not have financial support for me. How will it be? Most people would think you can tell people advice, talk to them, and financial backing is not there. But that advice sometimes can be more than that financial backing. And the boy did not give up, still found other means, and it worked out for him today.
But unfortunately, he called me at the wrong time. What he asked for was that he has a trial to do outside the country. He's trying to put money together to raise it. Is it ticket fee or something like that? You understand? He knew that I was one of those persons who was very ahead. You understand? So he doesn't know if there's anything I can help contribute to God who made me. At that point in my life, I was struggling. I would have happily supported with anything, but I had to be playing with him. I encouraged him that I know get for now and all of that. So that means at some point in your journey as trying to make it in food, you will come across hardships like
That would have made him give up.
give up. You understand? So for him to eventually travel out, I knew he didn't give up just because he didn't get from me.
Yeah.
Do you understand? The guy is a very determined guy. I knew when I saw that guy with playing in that school, I knew for once, I just knew at once that this guy, except he decides to quit football, but if he keeps playing, he's going to make it big in football. Though he's not playing for any Real Madrid. I used to tell him that he reminds me of Sergio Ramos. The body shape and everything, his aggression, I told him that if he keeps playing, one day you'll captain Real Madrid.
Every success story has a point, a break point where the individual involved would have looked back and had every reason to give up. But that point, that extra push, that extra nerve, that extra fiber in you that propels you to the next stage, even when you're not seeing any possibility, is very, very important, very, very crucial, and very, very necessary for every successor or every successful person out there.
Do you understand? So you will meet obstacles on the way. You at some point you want to quit. Do you understand? But just hold on. Like I always tell that guy, I always tell him, send him a text or a chat. I'll be like, hey, don't forget your training. Train very, very hard. Then pray harder. I always emphasize that. Train hard, but pray harder. Because at some point in your pursuit, you need divinity.
Yes.
Do you understand?
It will be by your hard
not
work
your hard work.
Yeah.
So where God comes in is linking you to the right people, just making sure that you are in a stadium where one scout somewhere casually
at the right place at the right time
just sees you, this guy is talent, and that's where God comes in. So I always tell him that train harder but pray harder. So I think that's the same thing I'll tell whoever is aspiring to become the young guys.
Another important note he made was sometimes your efforts, your talent, your hard work might not get you to that level you need. You need some level of divinity. According to you need some level of divinity. That is why as you're working hard, you have to pray hard. You have to get close to God. You have to go down on your knees and pray to that God that you believe in to help you where your level has gotten to take you above where your talent or where your hard work or where your skill can take you, so that you can make the best out of your career or whichever aspect in life that you are in.
Train harder, pray harder. God will make sure that He just puts the right people on your path that will help you realize your dream. And be patient. Be patient, because I saw patience in that guy. Do you understand? If I look at his family, he had every reason to quit. He had every reason. Sometimes he goes to training empty stomach, but he was determined. Now imagine that kind of a boy. He didn't have people around him that will keep reminding him of what he has in him. You understand? He probably would have given up. But as I'm speaking to you now, he's doing very well. Sometimes I'll just catch him, Arab money, and we will laugh. Do you understand? So that's it.
So in summary, he kept on hammering on the fact that on your path to try and be a footballer, you need to be around people who will speak to you, people who will guide you. And this type of people are people that have more experience than you, people that actually love you, want the best for you. And that's one thing that can help every footballer or a successful footballer or an aspiring footballer to get to where they have to be in life.
Wow, this is really a nice one. I'm really, really grateful. Thank you so much. The purpose of this documentary is to, with my small platform, let people see the struggles people are facing because of their passion. Let people see the contentment, what people are getting as a result of what they love. Football is becoming a tribe now. It's becoming a culture all over the world, and it's taking over almost every sport right now. And I feel like more voices have to be heard, more efforts have to be made for people at the lowest level, to get them out there, to showcase their talent, and to do well for them. So this is basically what I'm trying to do, and I pray that with time we'll get a bigger platform and get a bigger outreach and do more. Thank you so much, bro.
It's okay, you're
Thank you.
welcome. I'm glad I was able to control my to help you grow your, pass your message
Yeah.
to the wider audience. So it's a good thing you're doing, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
So if you watched to this point, I want you to tell me if you learned any lesson, or if you have any football story you have to tell. Let me know under the comment section so that we can be able to reach out to you and also tell your story to the world. Thank you so much, guys. Let's keep our fingers crossed for the next episode. See you guys shortly.